Hello.
Hey Wolf, how are ya?
Howdy, how's it going?
Good. My name's Kyra. It's so good to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Good. How's your day been so far?
It's been nice. It's been good. I've been excited to talk to y'all.
Alrighty. So you're on the cusp of releasing your third album, The End, on the 24th of October, which is coming up really quickly. I
Really
was
is.
actually blasting it before work this morning at 6 a.m., grooving and rocking out with you. It is absolutely magic, man. I want to optimistically assume that the title's not marking the end of Mammoth. It's got another meaning to you. Am I right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, it's I just found that through the writing process, it was definitely just the idea of the end was sort of coming through a lot, and it just felt like with dropping the WVH and just it being the first titled album, it just felt like a new area. So kind of the end of the old, can be a new beginning at the same time, I guess. So just felt right.
The end, but the start of a new era.
Sure.
So the end will be your third album you've recorded at the legendary To Us, but the second home to you, 5150 Studio. Would you say you're finding the whole recording and releasing process a lot easier, or do you find each album has its own set of like positives and lows?
Yeah, I think they're all pretty similar. They all have their own challenges. This one, yeah, I think they all are sort of their own little mountain to climb, and it's at least currently with the last three, it's kind of tough to compare. Other than maybe the first one being, trying to figure out everything, and that being such a longer process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with how it turned out. It really, at the end of the day, as long as I try my best, I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you well and truly found your groove, and hopefully those first nerves have all shaken off now, and you can just really do what you want to do your thing.
Yeah, I think there's a maybe a confidence now that wasn't there at the beginning. This being the third time around, I'm a bit more comfortable with the process. So I think there are elements to that sort of bled into the writing and the recording, so to speak. So yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that.
Now you've given the people a taste of your new album, releasing the Spell and your self-titled track as well. Epic film clip for the end. I watched it and I'm like, damn, how can you top that? You've got Danny Trejo in your opening scene. I'm like, you've already
Yeah.
won. From Dusk Till Dawn was the first ever DVD I bought. I was like,
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
So for me, I was just sitting there going, and then you got
That's
Miles Kennedy
perfect.
coming in, Splash. I see your mum there. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. What's it like having access to these, like anything you want to unleash your wildest dreams, like including literally Robert Rodriguez? Like,
I mean, that just kind of was a lucky thing that happened, honestly. I wasn't even sure if he was going to be interested, but when I showed him the song and I told him my idea,
yeah,
he was really excited. And it was his passion and his excitement for the whole process that was so contagious and
yeah,
just caused it to be such a fun thing, man. Like it was 2 days, but it just didn't. It was a lot of work, but it was so much fun that it really just didn't feel like work. It just felt like you were hanging out with all your friends doing something
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, and that's the vibe to it too. I think every time you watch
Yeah.
it, there's little Easter eggs. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Absolutely love it. So let's jump back to 2021 for a second. You've just unleashed Mammoth WVH into the world. You've hit Billboard charts, scored a Grammy nomination, and you're selling out your shows. So you're really on a high trajectory there. Is that absolutely fucking terrifying when you're thinking about releasing albums after that? Or how do you kind of keep that momentum up?
Totally. It's absolutely crazy. I think all I can do is just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, you have to kind of set it aside and try and keep your doubts and worries somewhere else while you try to I don't know. But sometimes that can help, you can it's writing music is a really therapeutic thing for me. So I'm always, working through stuff lyrically. So it can definitely be a good way of dealing with it at the same time.
Yeah, of course. And kind of touching on those feelings, I want to commend you for how you carry yourself because for any normal person, going out on stage and performing is scary enough. You've got every armchair musician, keyboard warrior, people who respect your legendary dad and they have this expectation of you and who you're meant to be. How do
Yeah.
you go out there and just handle it like an absolute boss and block out those voices from there?
Thank you.
It's amazing.
I don't know. I just try to keep my head down and try to just be the best I can be. I think overall, I mean, everybody can have criticism to some extent to whatever anybody's doing, but I think I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I like that I'm not. I think it'd be one thing if I was like playing Van Halen stuff and striping everything and saying this is the only place you can hear Panama and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think I never want to do that. I would rather. My dad had a really good quote during I think it was the press for, or whenever it was after they recorded Diver Down, the Van Halen album, and had a couple cover songs on there, and Dad didn't want to do that. And his line was, I'd rather bomb with my own material than succeed with somebody else's." And
Yeah.
so I very much attribute that. That's like a core tenet to what Mammoth is, and it's like I would rather, play for 5 people than play for 2,000 people.
Yeah.
If it meant I had to play Van Halen music, I'd rather be my own person and musician. So,
That's it. So, like you, I was born in the 90s, making us legends by nature. Also
oh yeah,
means that we are outdate Google. So, Gen Zers probably think we're ancient.
oh
But
totally, yeah. Whenever somebody says we were born in the late 1900s, it's like, well, that's technically true. That's
oh,
very painful to say.
um, yeah, that hurts.
Sorry.
Thanks for that. Yeah. I never thought of it that way, but yes, I do feel
Yeah,
ancient now.
yeah,
Um,
painful.
I wanted to pick your brain about your thoughts on AI and technology. Like we've seen it boom over our lifetime. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on using it in music, and what do you think the outcome will be for years to come?
I hate it. I hate it so much. It's fucking disgusting. It's not only destroying the planet, but destroying creativity
Yeah,
and not everybody needs to be able to do everything.
yeah,
You got to be able to be good at something to do something. And so I don't know, there's just not any soul or heart behind it. I
yeah,
think it's really bleak on what may happen from this. I just think like it just makes hot dogs. Like it's just all the gross stuff and just it's just none of it's real. And I don't know. I feel like AI should be used to like be putting, mufflers on the cars and stuff. It should be doing the menial things, not actually the creative stuff. Like leave the creative stuff to the brains and the souls and the hearts instead
yeah.
of the robot.
Okay. God, that means so much more coming from a guy who actually takes the time to learn all the instruments, the production, puts on all the hats, and does the hard work. Because
No,
yeah,
it's a big thing.
yeah,
We have this headline tour we're doing in the States. I definitely want to make sure we can get out to Australia as soon as possible. But we have a screen this time, and so we're making content for it. And
yeah,
I'm every single day I'm like, there's no AI being used for this. There's no generative bullshit. And I want to make sure that I have every artist's name so I can say it at the show and be like, hey, this isn't what you're seeing tonight is made by these people, and there's no generative AI used because that's dumb. Don't do that.
that is exactly the answer that I wanted to hear. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, a lot more people should be thinking this way as well.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Kind of tying into that, when I hear one of your songs on the radio, I appreciate the fact that there's a future for authentic rock and roll, the kind of stuff I grew up with and I absolutely adore. And I think if your songs are reaching me in my car when I'm driving around, they're also reaching the little kid down the road, sitting in the car with mum and dad going, I want a guitar. Like, this is what I want to do and start his journey. I know
Yeah.
you come up as a very humble guy, but do you ever sit there and think about the impact that your music's going to have on the world for these years to come?
I mean, I think that's a very kind notion, but I think that's a subjective thing. I mean, I really I'm my own worst critic for sure. So I really it takes, people actually saying it to me, that like, oh, that this music got me through a hard time or, I
Yeah,
started playing guitar because I heard this song and stuff. And that's a really cool thing to be able to, because at the end of the day, I think any artist should be making music for themselves. They should be making what's true to themselves. But the biggest, most gratifying bonus to that process is somebody else outside of your bubble finding some purpose in it and some joy in it. And so whenever that happens, it's a really crazy thing, being able to tour, just being able to tour at all as a new rock band in 2025 and having people show up is a thing I'm very grateful for.
yeah, of course. So, in terms of picking up and learning how to play instruments, I believe you were kind of like given the instrument, steered in the right direction, rather than having your hand held every step of the way. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think everybody, while I can understand that it's easy for people to think that, oh, my uncle must have taught me drums and my dad
Of
must have
course.
taught me guitar. My dad taught me how to play Highway to Hell on drums, and that was the only thing
Yes.
he taught me. And Al never taught me anything, so I'm self-taught pretty much. It was just about, I looked up the tabs to Chop Suey by System of a Down like everybody else.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it
Yeah.
was, you just hear something you like and you learn how to play it. And that's really, you just got to follow that drive, I guess.
Yeah,
And
of
at this
course.
point, I'm 34. I've been playing guitar for 22 years.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm at least kind of good. If I can make it through a song, that's
Yeah.
good. After 22 years, you should be able to.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's clear. Do you think that that's kind of like strengthened your relationship with your music and your confidence and allowed you to create a space to kind of explore more?
Yeah, I think that's what Mammoth is from its inception was my little exploratory musical space.
Yeah.
I think people forget that I've done the band thing before. I've played with Dad. I played in a band with Mark Tremonti. I had a band in high school. That never we were just playing for ourselves. But and so Mammoth was sort of my escape and my sort of thing where I was writing my own stuff and it's since become what it has. And I don't know. It's uh it's very much it's a process I really enjoy. I think that's why I still play everything. It's a lot of fun and it's just fun to be able to attack the whole songwriting process from every musician, from every instrument, so to
Yeah.
speak. So I don't know. I don't initially it was just a challenge because I really liked the first Foo Fighters album and I wanted to see if I could do that. And now that this is the third album, I guess this is just how a Mammoth album is made. And
Yeah.
it's just fun.
Yeah. And you can hear it. Like I was having the listen this morning and there's just this drive and fun and it's light. Like it's not musically, but the feeling that it gives you. Like you can feel it
Yeah.
coming across through the record and it's just you can tell you're doing what you love. And if you don't love what you're doing, then you stop, right?
Exactly. Yeah, at least
Yeah.
that's what you hope you'd be able to.
Yeah, that's it. So coming from a heavy magazine, I have to ask, you've
Yeah,
spoken in the past about having like a love for the heavy kind of music, which can translate into your songs. A couple of songs on there are like a breakdown and a China smash away from being metal. Have you ever
sure.
explored that kind of side of your vocal, or have you ever thought about doing a project with
I've
somebody
always
in that
wanted
kind of vocal
every
range?
friend I have that can do like harsher vocals, I always ask like, how the hell do you do that? And they're always like, I don't know. So it's like I really at this point it's like I need to be able to tour and sing. So I think any attempt at trying to do that would end up fucking my voice up. But who knows down the line? I don't know. I mean, I know what there was a new Muse song where he does like a growl, which was really
Yeah.
crazy. So who knows? Maybe we'll have some sort of breakdown at some point. But I don't know. It's never really a conscious effort to like be, hey, let's have this song be like Meshuggah or let's have this song
Yeah.
be like Tool or something. But it just kind of comes out. I think on the second album, the bridge to the first song, Right, like that's very like my Meshuggah
Yeah,
coming
cool.
out in double kick pattern and stuff. But it's always within the lens of what Mammoth is.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? Maybe it'll get heavier at some point. But I'm happy with where it is right now.
Yeah, of course. One day I hear you do a fry scream, I'll be like, he did
Yeah, for
it.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So when you're jumping in the studio and you're recording and playing and singing each part, how do you not nitpick the shit out of yourself? Because I feel if there's other band members in there, you kind of have that space to have error and you're a bit more lenient. Like for me, I would struggle with not being a control freak and going, I'm doing that again.
My producer, Elvis Basquet, he is
Yeah,
the magic. He
yeah,
he's the one that helps keep me from going completely insane. He really it takes me, it takes Elvis, Jeff, our engineer, and Josh, Elvis's assistant, the four of us
yeah,
in the studio, and we kind of have this familial bond now, so to speak, being three albums in together. And so it's great to have these people that I can trust outside of my own stuff, and my own insecurities that like if they think it's good, I know that it's something that if I'm in a better headspace on another day, I'd probably be okay with too,
yeah, of
So
course.
having them be confident and they can, Elvis can see the bigger picture better than I can, so he's a very important part of that whole process.
Yeah, you've got to have those people in your corner that always talk you back off the ledge and just go, no. Because you
Yeah.
always listen to it down the track and go, do you know what? That kicked ass. What was I thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It takes a while for me to kind of step outside. I get a little lost sometimes. So
Yeah, yeah, as we all do. All right, so we pretty much have to wrap up now, but I just want to say that I've heard the flight to Australia is really shit. I haven't done one to the USA, but there's fans here that would sacrifice their organs to have you play for us. So,
please
yeah.
don't do that. Please don't do that. But I will. We're gonna. I mean, I'm a big fan of Australia in general, and some of my favorite bands are from Australia. Carnival, one of them to speak. Sound Awake is like my favorite album of all time.
Amazing.
So I definitely have an appreciation not only for the music over there, but I just want to get over there so bad. So I know it's a tough thing as a new band to be able to go worldwide. We've been lucky to go to Europe a couple times by opening for bands and stuff, but it's really just a matter of finding that opportunity. And as soon
Yeah.
as we do, we'll be out there. It's not like we're sitting here going like we're not going to go there. I want, believe me.
Yeah.
So hopefully, on this album cycle, we'll be able to finally get out there.
Yeah, cool. And we'll be here with open arms, ready for you.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, it was absolute pleasure talking with you, mate. Thank you so much for taking the
Pleasure.
time. All
Oh no,
right.
thank you so much. You have a good
All the
one.
best with everything. You too. Bye, man.